We're dishing out more positive stories from coast to coast.
Order 17.
Welcome to Rise and Nyes, a hotspot in Tampa for gourmet coffee and homemade ice cream and apparently guys.
Oh, I like drinking coffee and looking at all the cute guys.
It's also a cafe for inclusion.
And the rest of us are all worried about 5 or 6% unemployment, and these guys have been unemployed at 80% for so long, and they've been shunned and even institutionalized, and to me that's just not right.
Beaver Shriver co-owns Rise and Nyes and employs more than 24 people with developmental and intellectual disabilities. The cafe uses amazing technology to train them.
And just realize that they're regular people who just want to be out here, want to have a job, want to have the dignity, want to be part of the community.
Building self-confidence and making new friends along the way. Now, that's good to know.
Order number 14.
Hey everyone, I'm your host, Lindsay Boach, and that was just a little appetizer of what we have prepared today.
On today's menu, we've got the fanciest charcuterie.
My #1 rule of cheese boards is cut the cheese.
Lots of fresh, community-grown fruits and veggies, plus loads of backyard chickens. And for dessert, designer cupcakes, even in a jar.
What?
Wow.
Lots of happy hearts and full stomachs. This is good to know.
We're in a time of healing across the nation, across the country. So, I just encourage people with anything that I do to do the best that you can and to be kind to one another.
Just a perfect stranger. He just out of nowhere said, I want to raise awareness for you and do this for you. I don't want nothing.
Well, we should help people until they don't need help anymore.
We have learned that once you get over that bridge of teaching someone what to do, that they're all in.
The way that I seen myself was like this. And the way that I see myself now is like I'm a grand dame queen beast in these streets and nothing can stop me, not even myself. Not just for your physical body, but for your spiritual body.
But to just put your stuff aside and continue to serve, I find it really, really heartening.
It's very inspiring.
When it comes to good, fresh food, it's a community affair at this farm-to-table market in Florida.
Just like we did in the beginning.
The bands, they haven't, this is really their first live gig, I think, since March. It's good to support the local vendors.
Sweetwater Organic Community Farm is in full-on celebration mode.
I'm just thankful that we have another season to keep growing and that we get to continue to serve the community and show people where their food comes from and offer them good, healthy food.
We first talked to Director Chris Kenrick in the spring, a time when food shortages and COVID-19 had Floridians turning to Victory Gardens to fight boredom and learn something new. Months later, that trend continues.
But we need more farmers. I mean, it's a fact. It's a crisis around the United States, and that's why we need farms like this to be able to teach people how to grow their food.
You can also do a fresh pressed green juice if you're into more of like the veggie side.
Danielle Booth is one of more than a dozen vendors at the farm.
It's not only promoting small farms, but also keeping the soil nutrient rich, keeping network of communities together and supporting local, supporting small businesses. I think it's incredible.
Incredible considering none of this was possible during lockdowns. Vendors selling coconut water from the source, not out of a box, is a simple way to connect with nature.
You just immerse yourself in the dirt and you just grow stuff and you just play with the chickens, and so it just makes you feel so good. If you raise a goose with hens, they'll act as like a guard dog.
Volunteer Misty Galentine is in charge of the chickens, taking care of the first chick ever born on the farm.
There's no better feeling in the world than when you leave the farm because you absorb all the sun and the dirt and It's just different.
Kenrick says the farm is preparing to grow more food for more people.
Every week you're going to see us producing a little bit more produce because we're growing and we're in season, and the farmers market season goes to the end of May.
Plans for a new field are in the works, along with a co-op grocery store to sell meat and dairy and a return to farm-to-table dinners.
And this is your farm. It's not my farm. I don't own this farm. We're just the steward of this farm. We're 100% volunteer run. So, everybody here that's working on the farm is a volunteer. And yeah, we need more volunteers. And it's exciting because there's not too many places like this, but there's a huge demand for it. And so we need more places like this. And, we're just trying to do as much as we can, but it's really a community project.
It's a new day at Long Branch Farm in Valley Mills. This rooster means business. He's on patrol. Inside the hen house, his lovebirds are hard at work.
Unlike other chickens, these ones lay 300 plus eggs a year, which is a large amount.
Richard Seitz started out with just a few chickens to supply his own family with eggs.
We knew where it came from and how the animals were raised. And that's kind of snowballing into something bigger.
When the pandemic hit, it drove up the demand for eggs.
Grocery stores were sold out. People came to us for that, and then, we kind of got sold out too.
So he scrambled, increasing his flock to 500 chickens. They lay about 300 eggs a day in winter, and by summer, 450 a day. His main customers are local restaurants like Harvest on 25th in downtown Waco.
Right away when you crack this open, you can see it in the pan that it's got a little bit more height and more color. So you can see the quality before your eyes.
Back on the ranch, Seitz serves up a diet of non-soy and non-GMO feed to his chickens, along with all the green grass they can eat.
That kind of practice just leads to a better quality egg.
The future of his side hustle looks bright. You might even call it sunny side up.
In Colorado, we're getting a lesson on feeding your community from a former teacher.
Good morning, it's Friday and the heroes are here.
If passion could feed the hungry, Barbara Moore's alone would eliminate food insecurity altogether.
There's a Hebrew term called tikkun olam, which means how much should you help somebody? Well, we should help people until they don't need help anymore.
Barbara, a former teacher, started Jeffco Eats 4 years ago to serve hungry kids in her county. And this is what she calls the program's ICU, because they intensively care for kids.
I didn't know that there was children all around me that didn't have food. I mean, I didn't know.
The numbers are staggering. According to a recent study by Hunger Free Colorado, 1 in 3 people in Colorado is now food insecure, as the pandemic forces families to do more with less and less.
I've been freaking out. I mean, I've called the mayor. I'm just like calling the county commissioners. I'm like, this is a state of emergency.
And this,
every week we give a fruit item,
is their coordinated response. Every Friday, Barbara and 40 volunteers stuff bags of food for their mobile food pantry.
We like to put things in the bag that make them smile.
And then twice a week, deliver it to schools, Section 8 apartments, and small pantries. No small feat in the midst of a pandemic.
They had to really think ahead to try to continue to serve who they need, find the food, and get it out, because all of a sudden everybody needed the food.
Jeffco Eats now serves more than 12,500 families every month. And as that need grows, this everyday hero is standing by, ready to meet it.
We've all been stressed during this pandemic time, but to just put your stuff aside and continue to serve, I find it really, really heartening.
We're baking up something sweet for you.
I had an idea to bake cookies, which was weird because my electricity had been turned off by that time.
From a life-changing dessert to a cupcake competition.
Well, I never designed a cupcake and then made it in real life before.
We love that we can make their creations come to life.
Set a timer. Good to know. We'll be right back.